Good evening, 7:06. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Sorry, we're a little bit late, but we've had some technical difficulties. Did everyone have a chance to review the minutes from the previous meeting?
Yes. Make a motion, but the minutes as emailed out last meeting.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and second to accept the minutes from the last meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Made by Todd.
Tom, financial report, please. How are you doing today?
All right, few talking points for the evening. I'll try and be brief. Lance has a form that I just need some signatures on because QuickBooks automatically charged for a subscription that was supposed to be canceled last year. And when I called them, they understood the problem. But Abby Miller was the primary contact on the account at QuickBooks.
Yep.
So I was not allowed to cancel and get our money back because they didn't trust me, I guess, to be who I said I was. So they said, do you have a top dog? That's their words. They could authorize you to become the primary. And I'm thinking you guys are the collective top dog. So if you are so inclined to sign that, then I'll get that subscription truly canceled and get them back. Does that make sense?
It does.
Equipment repair. We had a couple discussions about if there was money in the general fund to just transfer the repair money to the repair fund instead of doing it incrementally as we needed repairs, just put the money in the account, which would mean one less entry, one less warrant. And that way the balance that you guys see in the bank would truly be what was remaining and you wouldn't have to derive that. So unless there's any problem with that.
Problem with that, except it should come from the road fund, not the general fund.
Oh, what did I say?
You said general.
General fund.
Okay, yeah, wherever it comes from, I guess, yes, good point. So, yes. Thirdly, if you remember this story from months ago, we had that state payment that got sent to the wrong parcel. And I said, well, if I have to, I'll come back and we can make a decision as to what to do if the person doesn't pay for it. And that's where we're at, where I sent them a letter back in January describing the whole situation, which if you don't remember, the state screwed up, sent a state payment to the wrong account, corrected the issue, but when they sent the payment the first time, not only did it put the payment on the wrong account, but the person who owes the money was a non-homestead property. And as part of its automated process, it shifted their non-homestead to homestead and calculated a new tax at the homestead rate. So long story short, they owe a little more than just that payment that they weren't supposed to get because it calculated the tax wrong. And I sent them, oh, what did I send them? I have a copy of the letter if you need to see it, but it's got names on it. So I didn't want to just throw it out there. But I sent the letter January 3rd that described this whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
Sent them a copy of their previous property tax bill showing what they had paid the previous year with no state payment, nothing like that. So they got a pretty good idea. And as Kathy said, they probably knew this anyway, because they've never got a state payment before with a non-homestead property. And said 30 days, because I think that was what Kathy said. If you have a revised bill, you have 30 days to pay it, and no response. So there was discussion at the time as to whether that would become delinquent, which seems like, well, I don't want to have it on my opinion, it doesn't really matter, but that's, I guess the decision is it now delinquent or do we eat it as someone once?
What is the difference between the homestead and non-homestead rate? Or amount?
Well, I mean, they owe like $1,600. So it was a $1,286 payment that they received that they shouldn't have. And with the recalculation, it was another $400 that it calculated wrong when it undid the error. And as I'm always trying to say,
So
for
they
them
still,
and for us, it
they
was
still owe about $400.
no, they owe $1,600.
They owe the whole amount.
1,600.
Right, because they owe the amount of the payment and the amount that it caused to reduce their taxes
Okay.
on the
Right.
non-homestead. So it's 1,600 plus or minus some change. And if it matters, there were a few other revisions that came through where people either got from the state, again, this has nothing to do with us, really, it's all the automated stuff. I try and say that as often as I can.
Mhm.
But other people had revised bills where I don't think they were happy, but they paid the additional $200 or a few others that came through with penalties after the fact kind of thing, and everybody else paid whether they wanted to or not. Someone provided a comment saying for the failing education system, or they provided a little commentary on their check when they did it, but they paid. So that's the story. And I guess I provided them with the contact at the state for them to call.
Mhm.
I was gonna send them a copy of the email that the state sent to me, but it was encrypted. And it said I would go to jail if I shared it with anyone else. So,
Right.
so I didn't send that, but I sent all the state contact information. They made it clear that they were the ones that did this.
So first question, when you sent all this, did you send it certified mail?
I did not.
So there's the first problem. You got to send a certified mail to prove that they received it, right?
So.
Send it again, send it certified mail.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
And then at that point, then they can't say, it didn't come to my house, it went to someone else, I didn't see it.
Yep.
The second thing, I'm a big guy of following things up with a phone call. So to me, after you give them a couple of days, you give them a call back and say, hey, you sent this certified mail, I see you signed for it or whatever, this, and explain the situation to them. It has nothing to do,
Yeah.
it was the state's error, and they have now corrected said error, and this is what you owe the town. I don't think,
I think after 30 days, though, becomes a delinquent.
oh yeah, and that's why I'm saying, send
And
it,
went to the
wait,
Same address as the original property tax bill that
Right.
they paid too, so just.
but it's plausible deniability.
Yeah.
Anyone can turn around and say they didn't receive it.
I'd call them. I don't like calling people. I'd rather throw it out there, but I will call them and say.
I'd wait a
"I
week
know
and
you got
follow up."
this."
Right. I'd wait a week, follow up and just say, hey, you have 22 days, 23 days left. I just want to touch base with you, ensure that you understand what happened. We apologize. It doesn't have anything to do with the town of Bakersfield. This was an error at the state level. However, it needs to be rectified. This is the amount you owe.
So you said 23 days. I mean, this was back in January where they had
But
30
if-
days to pay it. Are we resetting the?
You have
counter?
to, they,
Okay.
you have
Making
to.
sure that.
30 days from the day you send the certified mail.
When I get the confirmation that they received.
Receive it,
Yeah.
right? Right. And then just give them a call after you get confirmation and follow up.
Next actionable step, I will do that.
Perfect. Let us know.
Yeah, well, I will. It took a while because the state took them a
But-
while and then we were into all other
But I-
things. So I didn't bring it up one other time when you guys have been here till 11 PM and.
Does everyone,
Didn't look like you really cared to hear about that.
exactly. Does everyone agree that we shouldn't treat it as delinquent because they can always say they haven't received it until we get
No, until that. I
Right.
agree with that.
Until we
Right.
get
30 days?
confirmation that they've received it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. If you peruse the one of the reports, the town one, I guess, it might jump out at you that we're 800% over on our lister's expense.
Those
And my
listers.
trustee friend here, if I don't say this right, if you don't already know what that is, evidently this slid under the radar for everybody, including myself, where it was decided that the listers were going to take out a loan from the trustees to pay for this mapping software or something that the listers needed to upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
But that ended up getting on the warrant. There was money to pay, so the loan was gonna be for 5.9% that the town would pay the trustees back.
Right.
But it ended up on a warrant and got paid before myself or anyone realized that, oh, we were gonna take out a loan with the trustees to pay for this. So now that it's been paid and there was money to cover it, the question or the discussion was, this loan is sitting there, but it hasn't been paid yet.
The trustees have agreed to keep this, the deed open. If the town needs to draw on it, if not, it'll just go away. And it'll save the taxpayers $13,000.
That works for me. I think it's good.
But that would be one of your questions, I think, if you looked at that and said, how in 2 months are we 800% over budget on the lister's expense? That would be this $14,000 in mapping software. So that makes sense to everybody?
It does.
All right. Those are the big ones. If you want me to ever help with a credit card, looking into that, that comes up in conversation every now and then. It's not mission critical at the moment, but I know John, I'm told, had looked into that in the past. I don't mind, I'm in the St. Albans town, Georgetown, I could do a little bit of a survey as to what other people are doing.
You mean
for-
accepting credit cards?
Yeah,
The reason we didn't accept the reason we didn't move forward with accepting credit cards was that the credit card companies were going to charge everybody a percentage of what they charged. And that we felt that that would not go over well. The town shouldn't eat the credit card fee either, but we didn't feel that it would be getting a whole lot of use when people find out that they're going to be charged several percent when they use it.
I was thinking they used to. There's
The
always
several
people-
percent. Listen, it's not going to cost us a nickel to do it, but everybody who uses it, you know, and they wind up being charged 3 to 5%.
I mean, the
3 to
counter,
5%.
I'm not arguing with you, but the counter that Kathy has mentioned is if someone's day before property taxes are due, can't get a check here in time and is gonna pay an 8% penalty,
versus
they might wanna
3%.
do that. And if someone's just picking up ATV stickers, maybe 3% of $5, I don't know what they are, but you know, so I'm, you know, again, I don't care either way, I'm not on either side. But I was just offering, if you wanted to look into it, knowing that you would pass that on to whoever used the service.
Mhm.
No way that you want to eat that, I agree with that.
There were a couple issues with the service that I'm saying that
Yeah,
when
no,
I brought the
so just let
information
me know-
forward
let me
that
know
made
if you want me
concerns.
to-
You're more than welcome to go look at it again. I'm gonna go ahead and take another look.
Doesn't hurt to look.
Yeah.
No.
So again, I'm in a couple of town offices, figured one place, easy place to start would be what are other people doing?
Right,
What are they using for
right.
credit card processors, equipment, stuff like that?
Right.
And probably someone knows Enos, or some other ones that be a quick survey. And,
Yeah.
Can I mention that in Cambridge, they did opt to go years ago. They did opt to do the credit card and it was a huge success because a lot of people didn't have that, but they could put it on a credit card. They didn't have all the cash to pay at the time, so they put it on the credit card so they could, you know, pay it over the time. The interest rate was a hit. I think it was like 2.65 or 3%, but there are plenty of people that are happy to pay it because some places will charge an additional, some towns charge like a huge delinquent fee. So like it was cheaper for them to charge the credit card, the 3% off the credit card than to take the hit on the delinquent fees.
Heather, could you state your name so that Tammy will have it for the minutes?
Sure, it's Heather Jewett.
Thank you. And thank you for that input. That's good. Corroboration of at least somebody doing it that way.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a problem the first time we went through it, except we were going to use a company out of Texas. I didn't think it was a big deal. But it got shot down when we heard the percentage.
No, that's
when
right.
people
I
heard
just, I
percentage.
mentioned it only because I hear it every now and then. Hey, Josh. And that's pretty much all I had. I know you have a lot of people here. And,
Okay.
Do you have any questions or comments about the,
Good discussion, thank you.
No, looks good.
Did you get a chance to sign my little form there too?
You did, Josh, just,
Josh is gonna do.
Right, just
he's
so I
the
can-
last one. At this point, we're gonna pause our meeting because now that we're all present, we need to elect a chairperson for the evening.
so
That's easy.
It's just replacing Abby Miller, Josh, with me on that
Yeah,
QuickBooks
I
account so we could.
I just-
No, I just figured I know you can read.
Of course.
You can read. Did you have any other questions before I get up? Sorry.
No,
not I.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome. Thank you. Good evening.
I've see.
Welcome, Josh.
Howdy.
Sugar and season.
Yeah.
Sorry, point of order, electing chairman. Yes, sir. Are there any nominations?
Nominate Josh, go
I
ahead.
second Josh.
I just have a simple question for Josh before we continue with this nomination, and that is, are you going to have the time? I know that you've been strapped and you were saying with the kids and everything else in the events.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be perfectly honest that, the reason I'm late tonight is my primary job. But that doesn't typically happen. And there will be probably a couple conflicts with my children and sports, and my family will always come first. So I can put that out there. And if you,
So do you feel that you want to accept the nomination or?
I feel like I can, because I feel like
Mhm.
as a board, we do a really good job of not for, I mean, I don't feel like, other than proctoring the meeting
Right.
and getting nominated to sign a couple things that only require a single signature.
Right. Right.
I feel like we work well as a board, that it wouldn't matter really who was sitting here to.
Just giving you the opportunity.
Yep, no, I understand.
I'll call the vote. Seeing as Josh is the victim involved here. The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion on the matter? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. So
Now we need a voice.
vice chair. I'll accept nominations for vice chair at this time.
Does anybody want to do it?
I'll nominate Lance Lawyer.
You want it, Lance?
So there was a grimace there.
Okay.
I
It's all good.
feel like I can
He's giving you the
get
out.
more done as long as.
Okay, I'll second the nomination.
Nomination has been made and seconded for Lance Lawyer as vice chair. Is there any other further discussion? Seeing none, call the vote. All those in favor signify by say aye.
Aye.
Alright.
Any opposed?
Lance was trying.
This
Have
does,
it.
this does mean you have to accept my tongue twisting
Yeah.
mispronunciations of
Yeah.
crap
Mr.
every
Sikoy?
once in a while. Yeah, well, not quite that bad, I don't think, but
Mr.
All right.
Sikoy.
Back to the.
showing up late. I don't have an agenda. Oh, it's in the pile.
Right there.
There it is. Thank you to whoever printed that
We're
off.
up to other. Well, technically, I guess we
No, it
can.
wasn't me.
I mean, yeah.
Hey, Josh,
Yes.
we put Emily up next on the
No.
first as the visitor.
No, Wendy, did-
Wendy?
yeah, she said that she'd keep it short.
Okay.
Sorry, Emily, but she promised it was gonna be short.
It's gonna be short, I promise.
Okay.
Okay, so, we had, 3 things that were not warned on the report. 2 of them were not in my control. The first is the trustee seat that is currently filled by Christine Parkinson since September 9th, 2024. She is filling a 3-year term that was previously, voted in and filled by Katie Dorman. And her seat expires in 2027. Christine wishes to stay in this role until the 2026 town meeting, where she will have to run for this seat, and the trustees are asking the select board to appoint her to the trustee seat until 2026. The second is the
Let's
trustee.
take them one at a time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know if you vote on them now or.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we
Except.
accept appointment of Christine Parkinson to fill out, I'm looking for names, Katie Dorman's term.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I apologize. I should have asked if there was any discussion before we called that to a vote. but I assumed you would have just spoke up, so. Okay, item 2.
The second is a trustee seat that is currently filled by Anna Houston since November 1st, 2024. She is filling a 3-year term that was previously filled by Jennifer Sanchez. Jennifer's seat would expire in 2026. She wishes to stay on in this role until the 2026 town meeting, where she would have to run for this seat. The trustees are requesting the select board appoint her to the trustee seat until 2026.
I'll make a motion that we accept the trustee's recommendation of Anna Houston to continue within the seat that was vacated by Jennifer Sanchez until the next town meeting, 2026.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. You guys sure you want to appoint them? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, a call vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, third issue that was not warned, and we did submit, but it was not warned, was the request for the HF Brigham Free Library 2024 budget surplus of $5,257.03 to be moved to the Library Improvement Fund. We ask that the Select Board considers voting to move this money into our improvement fund.
This has been on the docket every year.
Mhm.
It's passed without question.
Yeah.
Um, Therefore, I do not see any issues with this.
Not used for anything except for improvement on the building. No,
Yeah.
no books, no salaries.
Right.
Yeah, I'd make a motion that we move the budget surplus of $5,257.03 into the library improvement fund.
There a second.
I'll second.
Sure. Okay. Todd. Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, move for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Emily,
I didn't get the name. What's the
Emily
name?
Thank you.
Okay.
thank you. No.
So thank you for being able to accommodate me. There was a mix up and I tried to get on your agenda and I ended up on the planning commission agenda instead. So I'm here tonight and also Bill Irwin from the planning commission is here.
Can I ask you just to state your name for the record?
Yes, I'm Emily Cloft
Thank you.
with Northwest Regional Planning. I'm a regional planner there. So the Bakersfield Town Plan, it's set to expire next November, November 2026. It hasn't had a major update in a while, so it's kind of due for one. The Planning Commission is interested in doing that. And the best source of funding for that is the Municipal Planning Grant Program that this year is due March 31st. It is a competitive grant program, but town plan applications have been competitive in the past. It has a 10% local match requirement. So on the third page of the packet here is a draft budget. This is based on the Regional Planning Commission completing the work, which is allowed. Our hourly rate, and we only bill for hours actually operated. So with that 19,000, that 2020, that is a match of $1,922. So I think generally the municipal planning grant is really good value for money for the towns, for the amount of work that we're able to get done. So the town plan update, we have already identified some priorities like scenic protection and historic resources. And then this budget will also allow for widespread public outreach, community events, so that we can really get a good view into what the community wants for the town plan. Bill, do you have anything to add?
Thank you, Bill Irwin, Planning Commission and Bakersfield Planning Commission. And I've been before you all in the past about this issue. We talked about this last year when we talked about budget, and our budget is sufficient currently to cover the cost of the match. But we'd like to make sure that if we have any issues there, that we would be able to maybe ask the town for a little bump in what would be needed. And then also beyond the money, this is a really important project in that it revises our town plan. And we've done it before now 3 times at least with Northwest Regional Planning Commission. And not only do they do a really good job, but because of their history working with us, they kind of know a lot about our town. So it's not like just bringing in a contractor that's cold to this. They are aware. And so the Planning Commission has met with Emily and with one of her colleagues from Northwest Regional Planning Commission over the past 6-8 months, a few times. And we're very pleased with the numbers that they present in the spreadsheet relative to the communication coordination, which is to get interest, the actual update of a lot of maps and tables about the town, the road maps and key themes that are projected in described in the plan, the updates of the zoning maps that we have, and then public outreach to get that collection of thoughts from everyone. There would be then a draft that would be presented to you all because the town plan requires the approval by the planning commission, the select board, and then a public hearing. And that would be hopefully in March of 2026.
Are you aware that the listers have just finished working on an update program for the maps?
So I know that they are often looking at maps in a variety of purposes.
We just spent about $14,000 updating. So hopefully it will cover some of the stuff that you need.
Good, good. Are those the tax maps that you're referring to?
Yes.
Parcel maps.
We do use those as a basis for some of our maps, but then there are specific things that have to be shown in the town plan maps. Like there's a forest block map, for example, that the state has that we take and
I'm sure it won't cover all you need.
yes, no, it is helpful.
This is the foundation.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and we always work off whatever data the town already has as the starting point. We try to be really efficient with funds, you know, that
So if I could, I mean, do we want to treat this as we have with the firehouse and the library and other grants?
I don't think there's any cost here.
Well, there's a 19, almost 2,000, there's a
But
10.
that's being
It's in the
covered.
planning
But
commission.
that's my other question. My follow-up question with that was that those funds, are they only earmarked for this type work or is those funds marked for other things as well?
Yeah, the only other costs that we have for the planning commission are if we had to send out some sort of information mailing, but we generally don't. That's the zoning administrator that does that for notifying abutters. Or frankly, if there was some sort of legal action. In that case, our fund is insufficient to cover.
Which we have a legal fund.
We
set
do have a
up.
legal fund set up to cover some,
So
there's no-
I think, John, and I see where you're going or what you're
Right.
thinking here about the matching part. But
Yeah.
I think with Northwest Regional Planning Commission doing all of the grant writing for us
Right.
and us just having to cover the 10%, I would be,
Pretty good deal.
I would feel that it's pretty confident, pretty easy to state that if the planning commission was to run into some trouble and not be able to cover that, that we as a select board could find that $2,000 to cover that pretty easily.
Absolutely.
Right. Oh, no, well, what's in your fund now? Do you know? Bill?
Get the book and I can tell you.
Okay.
And it is set up like the grant match is a maximum. There's no world in which it would be more than that. We're good at managing budgets. We stay within budget. And if we don't, we also have technical assistance funds from the state that we would use to supplement our work.
Oh, I guess I could have looked in the book, Bill. I'm sorry.
It's okay, actually, I looked at it at town meeting, and then I looked at it at one of our meetings, and it appeared to be sufficient when I looked at it. But I wanted to take a fresh look at it, and I could have before I came here. And if anybody finds the page,
Take a look at 12, page 12, Bill.
well,
I see that there's planning here, but that just says planning. Is that what we're looking at? Receipts?
so.
I'm just trying to see if I missed.
This looks like receipts. And so fiscal, at the end of 2024, we had 1,135
Right.
of receipts. I don't know if that's the balance. I think the balance is in another.
Restoration,
another group
conservation.
here.
That's the road account,
Keep grabbing the wrong bit.
delinquent taxes,
You got 2023s again.
bridge account, paving.
I think.
Okay, if you look at page 19, planning income and expense. There's there's the $1,135 that you saw come in. Those are
Oh.
fees when we have hearing.
Mhm.
Those were the 2024 fees that we collected. Our balance is
Okay.
now $8,182.
Yeah.
And we did, and I think we did,
Budgeted 500.
we budgeted 500
Right.
for whatever expenses you may
Right.
incur,
Yeah,
but
we just thought, for this one time, since it's a kind of unique
yep.
experience. One of the things we thought about, I'll be honest, is trying to get people in here. We might have food because people come when you offer food.
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
So-
This is big.
Cost, if you're wondering what that is, that's.
And we might throw in a little bit extra.
Yeah.
Because anything that we can do to
I don't
get
have a
people to
problem with this, to
participate.
pay a little bit
Yep.
now.
Okay.
So does this require a motion?
Yeah, so there is two forms here. So there's a municipal resolution. There's a few pieces to that needs to be identified. So the way that the state grant portal works is that there has to be an authorized municipal official on the account. That has to be a member of the select board. And I can help you get signed up with that, but it's just getting signed up with the system and then actually opening the application and submitting the application. So.
I have
We're
MERP.
we're very familiar with that.
I have MERP.
Just finished with one.
Yeah.
You look at me, I'm looking at you. I'm looking towards the middle. I don't know what he has, but I've got the whole reconstruction of 2 buildings. Looking at someone in the middle. Oh, wait, something's in my eye.
It's kind of.
Lance knows the portal really well. He's really good at that.
And Lance did it last time.
Yeah.
Yes, but it is
How bad
possible to
was it,
get.
Lance?
Oh, you thought I was looking at you, John. I was looking at Lance.
Oh, you were looking at Lance? Okay. Yeah, because he's not got much going on with Brigham.
There's a portal, Lance's
Yeah.
face turned red.
Yeah,
So I've added my own name for the grant administrator, so that should allow me to be added to the account to write everything in.
Okay.
And then there's a check mark on the second page. This is the called Regional Planning Commission agent. That will allow us to automatically take the contract from the town. Your other option is to send it out to bid, which is kind of complicated. I'm obviously biased, but my advice would be that we're cheaper than a private consultant usually is.
No, I think Emily will do a good job. with that.
Yes. And then the other form here is the new one that the state added. I guess there's a new state law. It basically just certifies that the town is currently in good standing with the Agency of Agriculture and the Agency of Natural Resources. I believe this is related to like water quality compliance issues. So this also should be just checked and signed by the select board.
Excellent.
And we're sorry to say that there's a short turnaround time.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
March 31st, so it's a little bit of a short turnaround time here. So it's if you want to, if you're comfortable signing it tonight or on the 24th, but.
Oh, he's looking at that. Bill, you have a meeting a week from Thursday, right?
Actually, we have a meeting this.
Is it this Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it was the 3rd Thursday.
So
Now I got you looking.
Yeah, I think it's.
Hang on, let me look at my calendar. Is it the 13th? Okay. Oh, yeah, 3 of you here between you.
Yeah,
Heather, and-
Bill's correct. It's a special meeting to look at some issues that came. It was a special meeting. So he's right.
So I need a motion. There's 2 spots. There's 2 spots where there's a single signature. But my question here is. This would actually be Lance, because this is where we ran into the trouble last time. Where I signed it,
Right.
And Lance needed
who
to.
did the work, and then
Should be the
you had to send it
authorized
to me, and then I
select
had
Yeah,
to submit
the
it, and that
authorized
was.
Official should be whoever wants to do the grant portal.
It's not exactly who wants.
That we have Lance do the portal for this project.
If he's.
I'll second that motion.
At least this one's simple. Motion's been made and seconded. Any further
Stab me
discussion?
with the pen.
Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, ayes have it.
See, Lance even agreed. Lance even
All of
agreed.
us have to sign the back.
But there's
Yeah,
nothing
just-
else that we need to vote on to make.
No,
that
there's just the
resolution.
2 signatures that are
signature.
required.
vote to adopt the resolution and designate NRPC as the rural agent. And then you can check that box. Would be the only.
No, you're good there.
Yeah,
Keep going there.
yeah,
It's the
so there's a-
backside.
Yeah, if someone makes the motion to pass the resolution and designate NRPC as the rural agent, that's what the state will be looking for.
I would
You
make a
remember-
motion that we adopt the
Resolution.
resolution and make an RPC the
Rural agent.
agent. Thank
There we
you.
go.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion on that? Seeing none, I'll call a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
State today.
I
I
couldn't tell
think
you.
it's
I
the
watched it
10th or
dead.
the 11th, 10th,
Tenth.
couple more hours from the 10th.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emily.
Yes, thank you.
If you have any questions, I'm sure
Yes.
either Emily or I'd be glad to help with.
Thank you.
I'm gonna let Lance sign the good standing one.
Yeah,
So
just have
What?
it.
it's just
I
the
know.
one that says we're in good standing. I'm not able to certify. Unless you want to check this box that says we're not in good standing.
We'll send you flowers at Christmas. Or candy. We can have it.
Thank you.
That's what happens when you learn the portal.
Once you know the portal, you
They've
never
done
get out.
some improvements on it, but it was,
Yeah.
excuse me, it was a bear to start with.
Yeah, yeah, they did make a new pretty landing page for the portal, but I don't know, fundamentally, it's become a whole lot easier to deal with.
Thanks.
Sign out.
Down to Bakersfield?
Yep.
Warrants? Are they done with the warrants?
I don't know if they are, I'll pass it down with this paper.
If you could just give me your email as well, that will help me out.
Where this pager, Lance?
Me?
Yeah,
Yes.
she needs your email.
I need your email, so I can give it to the state for the account.
Okay.
I mean, it's on file already. Are you done with the warrants?
Yes.
Okay. I
What's
figured-
our PO box?
I could not tell you.
30, 50?
Town's
Yeah.
Gotta be somewhere.
Oh. Yeah, well,
Emails us anything.
Do you have a? So we can look at the website.
Hand it to you, but it gets left behind. There you go. Oh, that's there.
I double signed it. I printed underneath my signature. There you go. Sorry, get for doing it quick. Tenth again?
It's 2:03.
Thank you.
I knew where it was on our website. I can either have those forms back to scan in, or if you want to keep them, if you could scan it back to me, either way. It's fine.
I think he's almost done with them.
So we'll go to you.
You have another
Hand them
minute.
back to us.
Yeah, I'll
That's
scan it back to you.
441, right?
441, yes.
Either that or Bill throw them on the copier real fast
Oh, and then
and an email.
Gmail, it's 124.
What's that?
I can go look at my Gmail.
I don't know what it is. It's in my thing. I just type in Lance and it comes up.
Same here.
Cause don't you still have a Yahoo too? Yahoo!
It does.
Prodigy, something.
Lance Lawyer, okay.
That's easy enough.
Only get about 14 hours out of it.
You've had a long day now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This, I was up there. Ready so you can read it.
Hell no, that way she'll send me stuff. I don't want her to read it.
Have a good one. Where's Sharon?
Is Sharon coming?
No.
Okay.
All right, that's done.
Sharon.
Moving on.
We'll go to. Uh-oh. I was waiting for her to say, I'm just here to watch.
No, you were beckoned, but that isn't for another section. You got roads first.
Then why'd you call me up?
I
I
thought you were
did,
a
yeah.
visitor.
Well, she is.
Official.
Okay, all right.
Wearing her official hat.
She's unofficial.
It's roads. That's right.
Thank you.
Down the roads, buddy. She's here for something other board business.
They double side notes too.
Those are the originals.
Just want to say again, thanks for the good work you guys did all winter. I'm
Yes.
hoping that, I'm hoping you got a nice easy mud season, but,
Good luck with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. that's what I was saying.
yeah, I know. I know.
Get the rock piled.
Isn't it gonna be warm? Last time I saw it was gonna be warm. Did it change?
Oh, that's bad. For the
Well,
roads.
listen, I spent 3.5 hours chopping ice out that Mac helped put back in. Thank you today.
Right, a couple days. it reached
That mailbox was buried. Like, it was like 7 inches of ice. I had to chop it out. Cause when you pulled up, the whole truck was sitting like this. I'm like, damn it.
You knocked it out.
I know, I cleaned it out. They knocked it back in because they love me. They plow.
Fine and just,
Listen, he did
Mailbox
his
out the
job.
way.
I appreciate that you did your job. No, the problem is
no.
after this summer, after this winter, I have to straighten it up because the snow has pushed it back like this. So it makes it difficult when you drive up. The mail people can't get there. I'll fix it.
Snow we've had since you've been here, isn't it?
No, but darn if it isn't probably the second worst winter I've experienced in the 11 years I've been here.
I see
11
when I was
plus.
Wing back, you got Mr. Stone's mailbox too.
And
That wasn't you?
And Janet Macy's tree.
It's just a lot of heavy snow.
Yeah, it's,
That's right away.
we're just joking about it now. It happens.
So
Anything else? Anything we should know, need to know? No?
Really.
What were we gonna talk to him about last time? And then he didn't show up.
Prices on the truck,
Oh, yeah,
550.
550.
I did drive a Ram 550 to Albany this week to have a box put on for the Vermont Hazmat team. I was impressed with that truck, with the power it had.
To have a Cummings.
And it sets probably half the height of the Chevy 55. Probably a little bit lower than the Ford.
I think you want the height though.
This one it was just nice the way it, yeah, a lot of power. So it's just another one to look at. Everybody I've talked to says stay away from the Ford 600 right now.
Yep.
A lot of issues.
And did I tell you that the Chevys are running international motors on their 550s or the
50s, yeah.
5500s and up? They're running international motors and everybody's saying stay away from them.
Yep.
So if they're running international motors, that probably means stay away from the small international motors
Everybody
as
I
well.
talked to said Ford or Dodge or Ford or the Rams.
Yeah.
They're out there. There's some good prices. They aren't badly.
My only
priced.
concern about the Dodge is well, it has a great motor.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
I
got the
don't know about the
transmission to handle.
transmission, right. I just think.
I think it's a bigger.
With
it's
the
a
new
bigger-
tariff thing coming up,
Yes.
I think we gotta look at something before a lot of that tariff starts hitting,
Might be too late.
because well, there's some out there still that might. I know.
I think it's a challenge.
Trying to save money if we
Yeah.
can. I mean, it's half the
Um,
cost of a big truck. That's the
right.
idea.
Yeah. What we have talked about though is, kind of the same setup that Joey's got,
Right.
not go with a wing. Keep the baby dump. And then if you need to wing banks back, you've got that. I mean, this is the first year we've had to wing banks back in a while.
you know,
Well, to see what it costs us to keep the
Right.
baby dump.
So, which coming out with the vehicle, so what are we replacing, the baby dump?
That's what this one would, the roads, this one would take over, yeah.
So I would really like us to find out exactly what it would cost to keep that.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
Because.
Yeah, because
Is it-
well,
It
the
costs
problem
like
is we
keep
just
the car
dumped a bunch of
around.
money into
why don't
it.
we just pump like
Yeah. I
30
know.
grand in that?
So,
Yes.
you know, to just turn around and you know, dump 30 grand into it and then turn around and sell it for 20.
Right.
I'd want to get something out of it before we,
But there was quite a list of stuff that had to be done to that truck.
there's more stuff.
There
Okay.
is.
More?
Okay,
Well,
okay. So maybe it's
There's a
cut,
reason
so
why
maybe it
we're
is cut our
I
losses.
mean, we can look into it and see, but
Yep.
Any idea how much we're talking?
4 months ago, I said, yeah.
I mean, just a ballpark. Tens of thousands again, or,
I believe it was. At least 10, I would say.
okay.
Not much you get for 10,000 these days on the big.
Right.
It really isn't.
So.
The labor alone.
That's, yeah, that right there may be the
Yeah.
deciding factor, really,
Mhm.
you know? But there again, some of these smaller roads that we would be looking at doing the 1 ton with. If it, you know, you have one day where it's not as bad, you can wing those back with a big truck.
The biggest problem would be Brown's Pond.
Yep.
You don't go across that one.
Right, right.
But that can also be kept.
Joey does a pretty good job with that plow. If you
Yeah.
get the same one and
Yeah.
pushing it back, it really does. a
Yeah,
good
that,
job.
of course, that's that half barrel,
Right.
so it really, it moves it.
Your problem there again is he went through Viking and
Right,
we're talking.
Mhm.
a
is
lot.
it that long even for the small?
They've got a new policy, I guess, according to Volvo. It's, I think it's 6 months from the day you take delivery till you get a slot. You don't get a slot up front.
Wow.
Yeah. And the ones in New Hampshire doing the same thing.
Okay.
They're that fast. That backed up.
Yeah, I should just go into plow fitting.
Yeah, wish I'd get the name of the guy we dropped off the box. That's what he does in Albany, down by the airport, but I didn't get the name of the company. He puts plows in. That's what they're doing today.
That's what they're doing.
Putting plows on trucks.
Yeah, I mean. Either way, it's gonna be significantly cheaper than buying,
Right.
you know, we're probably talking about saving close to 100, well, close to $50,000. We did talk about doing a drop-in poly
Yeah.
sander instead of a, which will save you some money on that.
Yeah.
So I mean, theoretically, even if you could get the truck springtime,
Mhm.
get your name on the 6-month waiting list, you shouldn't have to plow snow until October, November. You should have it fitted. No,
No, someone.
no, you know what I'm saying though,
Yeah.
is if we got a truck with a box on it already, theoretically, there's nothing you would need on that truck until fall.
And we were talking about the same thing Joey has, where he can change it to the brush.
Yeah,
For sweeping the roads,
Right,
which would be
just with the
good too.
plow.
yeah, making the
Be
truck a
good
little
for
more
Boston Post
versatile,
Road,
yeah.
those areas, yeah.
Just a hydraulic driven,
Yep.
it's just live hydraulics on the front.
Right. Pictures right on the plow.
Yep.
Thoughts?
Who?
Thoughts?
Thoughts?
Do you have any? Kind of look a little vacant right now, but
The question came up and it's probably enough time to talk about was pay increases. Both roads and she didn't know if there was anything that got done there or zoning or, you know what I mean, any of,
yep,
she hadn't heard, so she was wondering if you could,
Well, the budget was passed and we did consider raises in the budget.
so I mean, just jot it down sometime and
yep,
or leave it in my box.
yep. We should have talked about that while Tom was here.
The raises? Yeah, Kathy brought it up today to me. Wanted to
Yeah,
know.
no,
if
I
we
mean, we
raised
should
it
have
for
talked
you.
about it while he was here, so he could, cause we retroacted that back to the first,
Mhm.
so. But yeah, we'll get that on the way.
Any thoughts with our third employee
We,
getting that time of year where we're gonna,
yeah, should we go into executive session to
think we
discuss
need
that?
to,
Yep,
Yeah.
okay.
hit that, that quick.
I make a motion to go to executive session, to discuss personnel matters.
Seconded.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're going into executive session at 7:57.
Don't forget to boot me out.
I'd entertain a motion to come out of executive
I
session.
make a motion that we come out of executive session.
I second said motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor of coming out of executive session signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Coming out of executive session at 8:08. Oh, sorry, 8:07 on that clock. All right, there were no decisions made during executive session. Just discussion. Not having anything else, Mac, on roads?
Done with me?
Oh, we are done with you. Something that's not on here that should be is appointments of vacant positions.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that under other, just remind me. Or is yours?
So quick,
All right,
please
so,
update.
yeah.
Munisburg, did get their budget, so I'll talk to Jesse to see what their next step is.
And I told you that other gentleman would like to talk with you also, or go with you also.
Yep. So I'll let him know.
Other place, road policy.
We're good. Thank you.
Have a good night, Mac.
Go get
Thanks,
some-
Mac.
Go get some sleep.
Good night. Hey, update road policies on here. Do we need Mac for that?
What's that?
Update road policy? Do we need Mac for that?
I think that's discussion.
That's, I don't remember what it was for.
Did you have a chance to go over that paperwork that
Yeah, that's just.
yeah, it's just an annual fill in the blank thing and that's, give it to Alex. We'll just skip over that. No? Okay.
There's no thinking now.
Okay.
Do we need to be in executive session?
I don't know what it's about.
All right.
As soon as I find out what it's
Okay.
about, we'll make
I
that
think
decision.
I think we are. But I don't-
All
Okay.
right. So,
Good.
thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Ginger, for coming in tonight. Ginger's here because we received a report regarding multiple gentleman in his seventies who lives in Enosburg, who sustained 12 to 15 dog bites from 3 dogs from a town residence animal on December 27th. Thank you. The information we received was that he went to a residence that he thought, yes,
In order for there not to be any slip ups,
yes.
should we move this to executive
Well, I'm
session?
giving the basic overview, then we should, so you
Okay.
could discuss
Okay.
names.
Yeah.
I'm leaving names out of this.
Okay, there was a lot of.
Yeah.
No,
I
that's
just
why,
wanted
that's
to make
why.
sure
I'm-
you weren't gonna slip up there.
No, no.
Okay.
So the background is the gentleman thought he was going to resident A, wound up at resident B by accident. Pulled into said driveway onto the property, exited, was attacked by, within moments being attacked by 3 different canines at this individual's residence. The main delay was that the thought process was that this was in another town. But upon further research and or information that was provided, this is actually on the border of Bakersfield. This individual actually lives within Bakersfield. We do have a copy of the dog bite report that is only partially filled out from the Notch. The individual did not go to the ER. They went to their local doctor, Notch, who did not send them to the ER, nor did they send in the state form. They sent him with the form and sent him home. There are multiple pictures taken of these bites. The good news is, Ginger, were you able to confirm that they all have their rabies shots?
All in there too.
So they had the rabies shots. Unfortunately, the 10-day quarantine of the animals never happened because it was out. We didn't get this until March 3rd, when I received a phone call from the individual's relative, their daughter, who reported it because it's been sitting. And like I said, the main reason it's been sitting is they thought it was for another neighboring town.
Okay.
So that is a very high overview of what happened. I would suggest we move into executive session. I'd make a motion to go back into executive session to discuss this.
I'll second that
Further?
motion.
Motion has been made and seconded to go into executive session. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Time?
Time is 8:12.
Let's do that again.
That's okay. You, Todd, you gave us a police contract overview and update before we went into executive?
Yep.
Okay.
I make a motion, we exit executive session again.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You didn't record it.
Right,
Good
Lance.
job, gentlemen. Motion's been made and seconded for a second time. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There were no decisions made during executive session.
Any exit time?
Exit time is 8:32.
Thank you, sorry.
We are having so much fun. Let's wrap this up.
Road policy, skip over.
Updated road policy, we're gonna skip that for today. Next agenda item is covered.
Yep.
Covered, warrants and reports,
Done.
done. Review of the mail. Did anybody get the mail?
I didn't see it.
No mail.
No, wait.
Tammy said there was mail.
Hang on, I'll go see.
Tammy's not here, is she?
She sent me a text.
Who listed it?
I know.
I
I'm just
did-
gonna have
hon-
mints and chocolate for dinner tonight.
Honestly, I didn't see
Add them
it.
together and you have peppermint patty.
Here we go. Actually, I probably had to clean the tank, so I got a little bit of mouse on this hand too.
Please make sure you guys have all the mail stuff. Nikki won't be here. You're not here, Nikki.
See that? You didn't even have to be here.
I think you said you were gonna miss one of the meetings, but I don't think it was this one.
Where you headed this time?
Yay.
South
Look, it's the
Carolina.
mailman.
Ding
Ding dong. Todd the mailman.
I looked real quick, I didn't see it. Oh.
Highway municipal grant application.
We've already done that.
So that's that one, that one, that one. AEDs, I talked to Robert during, town meeting.
Meeting, yep. He has a good. place,
He
too.
has a good place and he said he also has a grant that we could fill out. He said it's really quick and we can get AEDs for free.
Fantastic.
For free? That's better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said it was basically free.
Wow.
Emergency management, survey. We have to take a survey.
Oh. Brings up another thing.
Did you forget to do it? Todd, I'm gonna give this to you because I think as of right now, the fire department is
Nope.
working.
What I was gonna say is Paul Talley offered to take over the emergency management position for the town if we so desire to appoint him to.
He
Yay.
did tell me that also. We'll get to that when we go to appointments of
No, I'm
vacant
just saying,
positions.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so the only problem is he won't actually have the information on that one.
It's just a survey. Yeah, I can do that.
This is a,
Yeah, whole year.
this is the grant agreement that we signed
Yep.
for the,
Was that the light, the crossing light?
Bakersfield grant agreement. It's,
Which grant?
that's what I was trying to read. State highway access and work permit application. So it must be for the, yep.
That's the last thing I asked Mac about.
Yes.
He said it's all simple, to take care of it.
That's why there's so much.
More grant stuff.
Yeah, for the Vermont roads. How come we're like the only AOT, every other state's DOT?
I don't know.
I would like everybody to read this one. I wish we should have read this one before we had our meeting. Not our meeting, but our road discussion.
Okay.
Thank you letter from Rodney and Deanna Allen for the flowers that were sent to.
Oh, to
This-
roses,
this is-
yeah.
yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I've already. That's the first response that she.
Okay, so that's the one that you responded to her for with.
Yeah, we need. We need that statement, we need clarification on that. You gonna be in here tomorrow?
No, be in the office. Yeah, it's easy enough. The last sentence tells you what to do. Right here.
We don't, yeah, we need to
Just
get
ask.
clarification from his medical staff.
Pass that down to Nikki.
So this one, I don't.
Pass that down to Nikki.
Yep. Josh, the survey closed March 7th.
Yep.
Excuse
Couple
me.
days too late. The governing body of the municipality of Bakersfield.
Birdmont.
Hereby appoint the following representatives and one or more alternate to the legislative body of the Northwest Communications Union District
Oh,
for the term ending on or before the last Monday in April. So I talked with Heather Jewett at town meeting
yeah,
and she was willing to accept said position.
awesome.
She also requested that John be
Oh, for
a
God's
secondary,
sake.
as he has excessive knowledge in communications and sticks his foot in his mouth.
I did
on
not.
Frequencies.
I literally said no to this already, but
So what she
well, how
said,
often did he meet?
she said it's quarterly. She goes, it went from being like
I can do
monthly to, or she said almost bi-monthly or twice a month
Mhm.
to quarterly.
I could do quarterly.
Okay, so you're willing.
As long as it doesn't interfere with any of my other duties. And I can join remotely.
And be remote.
Yeah, remote meetings, I'm good with that.
Primary, so we gotta get Heather and John's email and phone number. Adopt at a regular meeting at government municipality of Bakersfield duly held on. We can do the rest of that. We need a motion to appoint Heather as the primary and John
I
as
make
an
a
alternate.
motion that we appoint Heather Jewett as our primary contact with the Northwest Communication Union District, thank you. As well as making John West our secondary.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'll abstain.
Vote passes 4-0. As John abstained.
I can't vote for myself. That's not right.
I did it out of habit earlier. I said it and I go, hold it here.
It's all
Well,
good.
to get the contact information on that one.
I can give mine. I don't know. Well, I probably know Heather's.
Surprised it's not on one of these, to be honest with you. Duplicate? Yeah. You know why?
Why?
Because of the wonderful things. Because Northwest. No, that's the same one. Wow, they really wanted us to appoint somebody. That is my agenda. That's not mail.
Okay.
Moving on. I'm gonna assume there's no update on the Brigham Academy.
No.
Okay, good. Appointments of vacant positions. We just took care of one.
Well, I do have one comment on that. Does the board object to having the Northwest Regional Planning Commission help me with advertising this statewide or region-wide?
What are we advertising this for?
Brigham
Brigham.
Academy.
Oh, absolutely, no.
Okay,
Yeah, no, I think
that's
go for
going to
it.
be one of the things we discuss at the next meeting.
I'm gonna assume nobody else has an issue with that either, since they didn't speak up. Appointment of vacant positions. We just took care of the Northwest Communication Union District.
Northwest Solid Waste District.
Northwest Solid Waste District at town meeting. I spoke with. Drawing a blank. He's been our,
Oh,
Go.
damn it.
yep.
I got a picture of him,
Evans Brothers.
Susanski's,
Susanski's. Yep.
Mhm.
Doremus, Mark?
Mark Doremus. There we go. Sorry, Mark.
I was doing this. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Who do well with me?
Yeah. I talked to Mark during this, during the town meeting, and he said he was still interested and willing to hold that position as our liaison.
Make the notion that, our motion that Mark Doremus act as our Northwest Solid Waste contact coordinator, whatever you want to call
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next one up is the emergency plan town, what is the name of that position?
it. Emergency planning coordinator.
Town
Emergency
emergency
management.
planning coordinator. As Todd mentioned a few minutes ago. Paul Pally also mentioned to me that he would be willing to fill that position,
Mhm.
so a motion to
Make a
appoint.
motion that we appoint.
We'll get
Paul
the
Kelly
email.
to the emergency management
That's it.
coordinator position.
Second that.
The Gmail.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor of appointing Paul Talley to the emergency
Coordinator.
emergency
Manager.
management
coordinator.
coordinator position, signify by
Discord.
saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. That's three. I spoke with John earlier and he said that he was interested in being the constable and dog catcher.
John who? That's a great job.
All in favor?
I refuse the position.
All right, let's see what else. Oh, this is the old book. Do we have any other positions that we?
Did
Just
not
the first
fulfill.
and second constable.
I have,
We didn't have a grand jury.
auditors.
Yeah, we did.
We did, we
Yeah,
got a
we
grand
did.
juror and.
so we didn't fill, we
First and
didn't,
second constable, we filled by select board as available.
did we get the additional planning
And you know
commission
what I would
role?
do is put something in the crier, maybe we'll find
Or
something.
you'll be
that-
filling that? The planning commission will fill that? Didn't we have auditor?
Yeah, he's right. We do have the planning.
One of the
commission.
auditors, yeah.
Well, I think the planning commission should come up with their
The
own.
planning commission has two people who are interested and they will speak with them
Okay.
at
And
the
bring it
next meeting on
forward.
Thursday. The same way that Wendy brought the letter tonight, then we'll.
Library
fine.
trustees, they were filled. For public funds, trustee of public funds, did we fill
That
that?
was filled.
Yeah.
Dennis and Jones.
So then you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
have first constable, second constable and auditors. I don't think we got anything in
Okay.
auditors.
So if anybody that watches this is interested in being first
Yeah.
constable, second constable, or
Let us know.
any of the auditor positions that are vacant, please notify a select board member or stop in here at the town clerk's office to submit your name for consideration.
Did they get the lister for the 1 of 3-year term? That going through as
No.
well?
No, we'll have to appoint those because there was nobody that got more than like 5 votes.
Well, I think Tammy ran for the 3-year, I think she ran for the
She
3-year.
didn't
term.
run for
She didn't
anything.
run.
She didn't run for lister?
No.
She didn't run for planning. I thought she ran for lister.
I don't think she ran. for him.
Hang on, let me get my keys moving.
God, I don't know, John.
thought Tammy ran
I'm
for
drawing a
lister.
blank on that. I apologize.
We did run something. But I, you know.
Yes, she did. Yeah, because I remember
Lister.
counting the votes. Yes, she did.
She ran for lister.
Yeah, she had to because she went to the training.
Yeah, but that one's on.
Got done.
Actually, Sharon ran for the 3-year. Tammy ran for the 1-year.
Yeah, but well.
So it's just the
problem-
auditors.
The problem
Just the
is here,
auditors.
guys, we're talking about two separate things. That's item 2, because that would have been a voted position.
Yes.
We're
we're
looking at the
between both
appointed
of them.
positions down here.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought we
but
were
we
just
still
going
have
for
to-
vacant. I thought you were just going
The
vacant.
ones that are vacant are people like they
They're
need
all
to,
filled.
right,
We're missing from
The only thing we don't have on section 4 is the constables.
constables, and then in section 2 are the 2 write-in auditors.
Yeah, right here. That's
Yeah.
what I just,
Yep, they
that's
weren't.
what I just said.
okay,
And we'll have to appoint those.
And planning, which planning's gonna take care of themselves.
Yeah.
okay, yeah. We just talked about that.
Yeah, we did. So we should move on. Because Josh is getting
Any
angry.
other,
Would you like a knife? You can
any other business?
I'm,
cut your own.
yeah.
We kind of do have some other stuff, and tonight is not the night to get into it because we're already late, but I would like us to talk next time about the personnel policy.
Yeah.
printed one out so that everybody has a copy.
Todd has done a fabulous job of moving us along.
Yep.
I've got some thoughts I would like to share on how we.
Thank you for getting that, sir. I just drew a blank.
Just with the numbers that we discussed, but like, Phil and I were talking
I'd
earlier.
like us to accrue it monthly rather than getting it in a lump at the beginning of the year.
Take a section every month or whatever.
No,
No,
as
no.
far as the accrual of vacation.
Like
So
you
right now
don't,
you
you
get-
don't get all your vacation on January first.
Right.
No, I don't think,
accrue it.
I think you should accrue. Well, just do paychecks.
That
We
when
did
our
talk-
last
yes.
We did.
employee.
We did.
Just, and the other thing we need to do is we need to coordinate with the planning commission at some point, because there are some things that the select board as a body wants to make sure are changed.
Yes, well, the
No,
good
I
news
agree.
is.
I agree. No, I agree.
Yeah,
Okay.
But back to your point, if we do it by paycheck, right? They get so many hours by paycheck, it just gets covered that way.
so we just need to figure out the
That
best
way
way. I
it's-
did the math today and it's like 1.57 hours a pay period or something.
Right. Yeah, because otherwise then you got Tom trying to remember, oh, I forgot to give, so-and-so their vacation this month. So it's, yeah.
But,
Hey,
and then
Carrie,
the other thing was how much they can accrue, because right now they can only accrue 20 hours.
20 hours,
20,
yeah.
it's not a huge amount of sick time. So if somebody is actually, if we had somebody who needed maternity leave, they could only get accrue a month, which.
Well,
Well,
maternity
I
leave is
put it
covered
that
by
way,
the
but it
state.
doesn't-
It's a governmental thing, but yeah.
Well, and how much can they carry
I
over?
think I think they should be allowed to accrue more than we currently allow.
Accrue or carry over? What are we saying here? Accrue or
Well,
carry
accrue.
over?
So right now you can keep going up until you get 20 hours and then you can't have any more than 20 hours.
I just think your sick time is your sick time for the
Exactly.
year. Yeah, if you get 5 days sick time, you get 5 days sick time. When you use them up, you're out.
I feel like that's one that should be given January. 1st.
January 1st is sick time. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Whatever your sick time is.
It was written was we
Yeah.
gave him 20
The
hours.
thing is carrying sick time over year after year after year. That's right where it gets kludgy.
I
The
need-
other one that to think about was in the one that I borrowed this from, they allowed compensation time versus overtime in some cases, but it
Yeah.
had to be used within a certain period.
Yeah,
And I didn't know, I couldn't find in our book where it said that, so I didn't put it in this one.
I feel like when we talked about that, we did talk about comp time.
Right.
Um,
It's just a way of saving some overtime.
right.
Yeah.
So you comp hour for hour, you comp hour and a half. Like if they work 10 hours, are we giving them 2 hours comp or are you
I
giving
would
them?
have to say it's
3
got
hours.
an Hour and a half.
Yeah.
Well, comp, the
actually
theory
was-
behind comp is you're giving them days off for the time they worked here. Right? So the theory behind it is you don't, well, I don't know municipality wise, but in the business world, you don't comp time and a half. You comp is your time.
You're
So if you
out.
work 5 hours overtime or 5 hours past your 40-hour work
You
week
get 5
and
hours.
you want to
comp.
comp it, you could take 5 hours somewhere else.
So it
That
saves you,
they do
the
the
saves you the other
Right.
half.
Yeah, they don't give you 7.5 hours. They give you 5.
Or if you don't want to comp it, you get paid
You get
for
paid
7.5.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's,
Yep.
you get the option, comp or overtime.
That was, I
Great
took that
discussion.
out. Yeah, So it's just something.
I
to
think
think
we should not discuss it now. I think it should go on the agenda.
No, absolutely. And I don't
It
think
was
it
on
should be
there.
open.
It was on there.
Was it?
Not today,
No,
but
but
it
it
was,
was
and then we
before.
took it off.
Yeah, but I think it needs to be like the first thing we discuss, because I think
Okay.
it keeps getting bumped to the end. And then the other thing I'd like us to talk about, and there's no rush on this, but we had a list of articles, whatever you call them, where we were giving money to different organizations. We voted them as a block.
Yeah.
We had one in there for $95 that had a fantastic budget. We had one for $5,000 that we have no idea what that money's going on. So I'd like us to have a policy on
I agree.
what we expect.
Oh, yeah.
So that people, because it's all over the place.
I don't
So-
think it should not only be more descriptive of what they're doing, but I think there should be an earlier time frame. They have to have an invite.
Yeah.
This let it roll till January is too long. You need money from us. Send it to us in November, but December 1st, all requests for funds are due by December 1st and put it out there now.
Some of them don't. Like, some of them are national places that we send to, and they
Yeah,
don't
American-
read our
So I,
minutes.
But
We can
if you're,
address
if
that.
we're sending them a check,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
no, but we can.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're cutting them a check, you send with the check a thing that says all future requests will be due by December 1st, or they will not be put
This
in the
30-day
thing.
block or whatever.
Right,
I
right. I don't think it's hard.
put in my 2 bits about voting on this as a block too. I'm sorry. I think they should all be voted separately.
I agree.
But the problem is when we get to the floor,
People can change that, yeah.
people just put in a motion to vote as a block. Now, I think if we had gone with, and we tried it, but no one wanted to go to paper, I think you would have seen a different number than everyone saying, go ahead with a block.
I agree. Now, is there a way that it can be warned where that it cannot be voted on as a block?
Enosburg does something like that where they have a certain group that they list like these 5 that are more municipally kind of bound. And then they have a second group that they put,
We
that's
actually-
more like the open-ended ones.
We were actually talking about this at town meeting.
Yeah,
Is maybe what we do is we put a limit on anything over $500
right.
cannot be voted on as a
I
block.
can go with that.
So that if, you know, or even whatever, 750, 1,000, whatever we deem,
Right.
Yeah.
okay? These all these piddly ones for 100, 200, they can all be voted on as a block, sure. These ones here, they
Require
require
individual.
a
Yep.
budget, so we know where the money is going.
Yep.
And they require a vote on the floor.
Single votes. All right, well, I don't know how we would word that, but yeah.
Look at
I think
Enosburg,
we
see
just
how
make,
they-
you'd have to make each one of them a line item.
Yeah,
Wait,
Oh, you know, that's actually the way to do it.
Yeah.
That's really the way to, just
Yeah.
don't give it, it's 16, A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Do it
16, 17, 18, 19.
Okay.
That's the way to do it. That
It used
forces
to
it.
be that
And
way
you
at
would-
one
Be that
time,
way.
And
yeah.
you would have to do it. But we would have to have a guideline,
Yeah.
like I said, you know, anything over 500 or 1,000 or whatever we
Whatever that-
deem the number should be.
Right.
Anything over that amount
Requires.
Yeah.
an
is its own line item.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd probably have to put that out.
Quite
But yeah.
frankly,
I
if
don't
we
think
voted on them all separately, it would have taken less time.
Yes,
Probably.
we Probably would have.
I don't
But I
know.
think we can reach out to the entities that are gonna fall into that category. I mean, it's Fairfield. It's,
Yep.
you know, I mean, it's
Yeah.
not difficult to.
No.
No.
to do that.
No, I agree. You know, and I do think there are folks in the audience who didn't want to put themselves out there per se, the way that it was, to argue that point, but they did, there were folks who were resistant to voting it as a block for whatever reason.
I did not vote either way, if
Well, you know what? I didn't vote either, but I'm not allowed.
you're not allowed.
So it doesn't matter to me.
Any others?
Other?
I would like to make a motion.
I'll
Let's
second it.
adjourn.
I second, third.
I'll forfeit.
Motion's been made, seconded, thirded, and fourth. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Have a good night.
Meeting's over at what? For county?
8:54.
There you go. Thank you.
What we were talking about a little bit earlier.